Vivien Leigh's relentless pursuit of her Hollywood dream brought her face to face with brutal betrayals, devastating illnesses, and unimaginable heartbreak. But even when the world tried to break her, she fought back with a ferocity that would leave scars on her soul. Rejected, humiliated, and underestimated, Leigh was willing to risk everything to win the role that would define her forever. And when she finally got it, the dark journey ahead would be nothing short of a nightmare. After a polite dismissal from Selznick, Leigh's hope seemed dashed. But she wasn't about to be forgotten. Fueled by what her lover Laurence Olivier called demonic determination, she moved to LA, resolved to prove everyone wrong. She wouldn't just chase her dream, she would seize it, no matter the cost. In a twist of fate, it was Selznick's own brother, Myron, who ultimately introduced Vivien Leigh to destiny. He brought her to David Selznick, declaring "Meet your Scarlett O'Hara." Leigh delivered a screen test that left Selznick in awe. She finally won the part, but not without fierce competition, as she outshined legends like Joan Crawford, Bette Davis, and even Clark Gable's wife, Carole Lombard. But this was just the beginning of a harrowing ordeal. Gone with the Wind wasn't just a film. It became an unrelenting battleground for Vivien Leigh. Shooting dragged on endlessly, with Leigh working exhausting 16 hours a day. Each day drained her spirit until one night, desperate for relief, she took far too many sleeping pills. But even that pain was nothing compared to the indignity of being told she wasn't enough, not woman enough for the role. Selznick insisted on drastic measures, demanding Leigh pat her chest to fit his image of a Scarlet. They called it the breastwork situation, but for Leigh it was a fresh wound carved into her already weary heart. And the indignities didn't stop there. Despite giving her all, Leigh was paid a fraction of her co-star Clark Gable's salary. The sacrifice and suffering were real, but Leigh's resolve was unbroken. When the world finally acknowledged her talent, she took home the Oscar at just 26 years old. But even in these moments of triumph, shadows of darkness still glue. Her partner, Laurence Olivier, couldn't share her joy. Envy consumed him to the point where he nearly turned violent, gripping her Oscar with trembling hands. It wasn't just jealousy, it was a foreshadowing of the pain their relationship would soon endure. Yet, amidst the chaos, 1940 seemed to offer a ray of hope. Both Leigh and Olivier were granted divorces from their spouses, and they could finally be together. Their secret wedding was officiated by none other than Katharine Hepburn, but their union came with a devastating price. They had to relinquish custody of their own children. Their attempt to conquer the stage as a couple was a humiliating failure. They invested everything they had into a production of Romeo and Juliet, only for it to crash and burn, taking their dreams down with it. The cracks in their relationship grew deeper, and Leigh's mental health became a battleground of its own. In her darkest moments, Vivian's outbursts were terrifying, her voice cold and unfamiliar, and afterward she would collapse into regret and fear, haunted by the memory of what she couldn't control. As if her mental battles weren't enough, in 1943, while serving troops in North Africa, Leigh fell gravely ill. Tuberculosis had taken hold and it nearly ended her life. She thought she had beaten it, but the worst was still to come. Determined to rebuild her career, Leigh returned to Hollywood in 1944. But her luck had run out. Rejected from Rebecca, dismissing Pride and Prejudice, and facing failure after failure, her spirit began to crack under the relentless pressure. The world that had once adored her now seemed to turn its back, and the dream she fought so hard for started to slip away. As her health faltered and Hollywood grew colder, Vivien Leigh stood at the edge of a cliff. Would she defy the darkness closing in around her, or would her demon finally consume the woman who refused to be forgotten. Join us in the next video to know the answer.